In this episode, we'll talk about the diesel particle filter, also known as DPFs, and their essential role in the containment and transformation of the dangerous solid particles that travel along the exhaust line with the combustion gases of our diesel vehicles before those gases go into the atmosphere. Walker, with 63 manufacturing plants distributed throughout the world and 8 engineering technical centers, is one of the largest emission control manufacturers, both for the original equipment and for the aftermarket. Walker is also one of the pioneering companies in the development of DPF particle filter systems for passenger vehicles. To guarantee the maximum level of performance of the engine with the minimum consumption, Walker takes special care of the back pressure and noise level of its products, making sure that all the range of emission control products is homologated, following the strictest environmental regulations required in each case. The diesel particle filter is composed of 2 main parts: the diesel oxidization catalyst, also called DOC, and the ceramic filter, which is responsible for storing the solid particles for further treatment. Its lifespan oscillates between the 80,000 kilometers of the first models manufactured to more than 240,000 kilometers of the most modern ones. The basic function of a diesel particulate filter is to trap the dangerous solid particles coming from the combustion chamber that travel along with the exhaust gases in order to later transform them into carbon dioxide, CO2, which is a gas. This process is called particulate filter regeneration, and its function is to empty the filter and leave it ready again to continue with its filtering function. The special process in which the solid particles stored at the filter, which are transformed into carbon dioxide, is called regeneration and takes place in 2 different ways, depending on the temperature at which the gases reach the particle filter surface. If the temperature of the gases upstream the particle filter is in the range of 270 degrees Celsius to 450 degrees Celsius, the solid carbon particles stored inside the DPF are continuously transformed by the action of nitrogen oxides that release oxygen for this process. This is why this type of regeneration is called continuous regeneration. It's the ideal type of regeneration for our vehicles, since you only have to maintain the temperature of the unit at the range of 270 degrees Celsius to 450 degrees Celsius to work. Nowadays, due to heavy traffic city-style driving and recently also due to massive implementation of start-stop function in vehicles, exhaust gases remain cooler. Therefore, the DPF cannot regenerate continuously and ends clogged. This results in an increase of the internal back pressure of the exhaust system and thereby fuel consumption. For this reason, diesel passenger cars equipped with a DPF system also incorporates a special filter cleaning process for these cases called forced regeneration. This type of regeneration is activated when the particle filter reaches a certain level of blockage preset by the manufacturer, and the engine is working under certain conditions of temperature and load. In this case, the electronic control unit of the vehicle activates a special program that increases the temperature of the exhaust gases up to as much as 600 degrees Celsius to 620 degrees Celsius at the DPF surface. In this way, the solid particles stored in the filter are transformed into carbon dioxide, CO2, thanks to the action of heat and the presence of oxygen in the exhaust gases. As we have seen before, since carbon dioxide is a gas, it can escape from the filter along with the rest of the exhaust gases, leaving it clean and ready to continue with its work of storing solid particles. This process is carried out under normal driving conditions, usually between 500 and 800 kilometers, without the intervention of the driver. DPF particle filter systems can be further divided into those that use a fuel-borne catalyst additive to optimize and accelerate forced regeneration processes and those that do not require them. Among those who need them, it is important to remember that there are several types of diesel fuel additives with very different chemical compositions and densities. Choosing the right one becomes of vital importance to avoid damaging the additive injection system and to ensure the proper operation of the particulate filter. For a better understanding of the operation of the DPF systems equipped with a fuel-borne catalyst additive, we have prepared a short video in which we explain the key elements of those systems and how they work. I hope you enjoy it.
With the implementation of the Euro 5 emissions regulations in 2009, vehicle manufacturers were obliged to significantly reduce solid particle atmospheric emissions in all new vehicles. These kinds of emissions are particularly high in diesel engines because of the way these work. This brought about the creation and implementation of diesel particulate filters, or DPFs, in these vehicles. Their basic design starts with a double lambda probe catalytic system with its electronic control unit, in which the catalytic converter is replaced by a module that has a broadband lambda probe, an oxidizing pre-catalytic converter, a diesel particulate filter, a differential pressure sensor with its connection pipes in front of and behind the filter, and a temperature probe. Their basic operation is simple. The solid particles travelling with the exhaust gases are held back in the filter, while the previously catalyzed gases escape through its porous walls into the atmosphere through the rear silencer. When the amount of particles held back in the filter reaches a certain level, the differential pressure sensor sends a signal to the electronic control unit to start the filter regeneration process. The regeneration occurs periodically at intervals of 400 to 800 kilometers, depending on the type of driving. It involves increasing the temperature of the exhaust gases to the temperature at which the carbon particles self-ignite, which is around 550 degrees centigrade. This is done by special engine management programs that include variation of the starting and post-injection times. The increased temperature burns the carbon particles in the filter and converts them into carbon dioxide, sending them out of the filter in gas form to leave it clean and ready to continue storing particles. The regeneration process always leaves a little residue in the filter, which gradually blocks the pores in the walls. This means that it has to be replaced roughly every 80,000 to 140,000 kilometers.
I hope this video has helped you get a clearer idea of how these important diesel anti-pollution systems work. As we have seen in this video, DPF can only perform its task of retaining and transforming the solid particles of the exhaust gases if the catalytic converter works perfectly. For this reason, it is critical to work with homologated products from serious and well-recognized brands, such as Walker. In the case of installing non-approved catalysts, the particle filter will not be able to perform the regeneration process correctly, blocking the filter and putting at risk the rest of the anti-pollution system elements, as well as the integrity of the engine. Walker offers its customers two types of qualities in DPF filters, depending on the type of ceramic filter installed inside. These two ranges are Walker EVO S with a silicon carbide particle filter especially recommended for vehicles in which the filter is subject to more frequent forced regeneration cycles, such as vehicles that normally circulate in dense traffic areas, in congested cities, taxis, vehicles that circulate in very cold areas, or old vehicles that have not had an optimal engine maintenance during its working life. This is the recommended option in most vehicles due to its greater robustness and thermal resistance, being the option used by original equipment. On the other hand, we have the Walker Evo C, recommended in the case of older vehicles that are perfectly maintained and circulate mostly in conditions of continuous regeneration, mostly circulating on roads or highways away from the slow city traffic. Both ranges are fully homologated, offer a 3-year warranty, and comply with the most rigorous technical controls specified by the different environmental regulations for this purpose.
We are Garage Gurus. Join our community. Follow us on social media. Thanks for watching this video. The video description contains all the relevant links. Don't hesitate to like, subscribe, and be notified when we post new content. Also, check out our Garage Gurus online course catalog.